How do you answer the question, what do you do for a living, ladies? When you're dating and you're meeting guys on dating apps or out or wherever, and they ask you, what do you do for a living? What do you say? How do you answer them? One of the cousins sent me this screenshot, and I posted in in my community tab, but I'm really disturbed about it. So I decided I'm going to read it, and I want to know what you ladies and guys think about how to answer that question. Of course, in my husband profile, of course, I will be teaching. I think there's a place there for me to teach about how to answer these questions. It is Friday morning. Thank you for your love and support. I absolutely love and adore you. I am so bubbly this morning because we have a long weekend and I can spend a whole lot more time with you. I have so much stuff to talk to you guys about. There's just so much stuff going on. And I'm probably gonna do a live maybe tonight. I don't know. When I come home, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. But I don't know. Be sure to subscribe and thumbs up. Share this out. I absolutely love you. I want to remind you to remember my cousins, Chloe Johnson. Check her out. Kimberly Reviews, check her out. Actually, Aubrey, check her out. I feel like there's somebody else I'm forgetting. Tell me in the comments. Something's going on with YouTube where the views are not, the subscribers are not working. So we want to make sure we support everyone. Okay, come on back from Married at First Sight. If I have time, I'll do another Married at First Sight video. So in my community tab, one of the cousins sent me this, and I said, one of the cousins sent me this screenshot. Can you answer the question? Oh, we will discuss this and more in my husband profile course. So she said, on dating apps, why do most men, why do most men get offended or mad when you tell them you don't work? LOL. Then they want to start asking a bunch of questions about what you do and how you are earning a living. I like when the man say, "Oh, that's cool. Yes, you're a woman. You don't work. You don't have to work." LOL energy. I hate the word energy. Okay, I think it's just a certain group of women who use that word energy. I just don't like it. I never understood what triggers a man to make him have an anger or offense because a woman doesn't work. It's none of his business and he shouldn't care. If she is clearly taken care of and living just fine, no questions needed. Men provide anyway, so they shouldn't be asking. Then it shows their lack of intellect and pathetic personalities when they assume you are a prostitute, as if the only thing a beautiful woman can be doing is either working for someone or prostituting. Hey, cousin. The SD code said, I wonder if she would have had the same energy if men were on apps with no jobs. Come on, sister. Michael 5588 says, I guarantee you she probably have kids out of wedlock. Um, Tiala respond, you're one of those Emma alpha male, but what you bringing to the table type, huh? Michael responded, sorry to disappoint you. I am actually a alpha male. LOL, Michael. So what do you guys think about this? Let me go back in and read it from the top, and I'm gonna break it down for you. On dating apps, why do most men get offended or mad when you tell them you don't work? Okay. Uh LOL. Then they start asking a bunch of questions about what you do and how you're earning a living. Like when I like when a man say, "That's cool. Yes, you're a woman. You don't have to work." Energy. I never understood that triggers a man with him having anger or offense because a woman does work. It's none of his business, and he shouldn't care. So you want to tell me you are single out here dating for marriage? I'm assuming, and a man is gathering data on you, but you feel as if the best response for you is to tell him that's none of his business. The same way I'm gathering data on him, he's gathering data on me. So you don't think you need to tell a man what you do for a living because it's none of his business and men are supposed to be providers anyways. And I bet you this is one of the women who want a high value man, because to most people, high value is he makes over $100,000 a year, and that's just only one slice of the 6 or 7 slices of a high value man. I'm telling you, ma'am, a high value man like my husband and his frat brothers wouldn't be bothered with your attitude saying that is none of your business. When we look at the Proverbs 31 woman, the Proverbs 31 woman listed everything she was doing. Because ladies, we are supposed to be their helpmates. So we need to be in a place that we can help them with what? Their vision, not to become men. So yeah, he wants to know what you're doing. He wants to make sure you're not a lazy woman. He wants to make sure you're not a house selling it on the street corner at Broad and Market. He wants to make sure you're not sitting home doing absolutely nothing. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with a man asking, what do you do for a living? Then she says, get mad when you don't tell them. Well, I don't know if I would use the word get mad, but it basically is you're not giving him the data he needs, because he also needs that data to make a decision about you. Then she said they start asking a lot of questions about what you do and how you earn a living. Ma'am, unless you are a child, you should be working or you're living on a trust fund. You should be doing something. You're not just sitting at home waiting for a man to come and marry you to take care of you. What are you doing all day? What do you do? Do you write books? Do you do YouTube? Do you work? What do you do all day? So the mindset that you think a man should not be asking you a bunch of questions of what you do or how you are earning your living. Ma'am, you are delusional. And then she said, I like when the men say, oh, that's cool. You're a woman. You don't have to work. And I guarantee you, he's going to meet you, be over at your house. Bam, bam, slam. Thank you, ma'am. And you probably won't see him again because he's just trying to suffice you. She says, I never understood what triggers a man to make him an anger or offense because a woman doesn't work. Yeah, I would be angry too. The same way we would be angry if he doesn't work. Because you know what we think if a man don't have a job. He's on the corner selling drugs. So if you're not working or doing something, if you are just sitting at home, if you're telling this man you don't work, yeah, he's going to make assumptions about you because everybody needs to be doing something, ma'am. It's none of his business and he shouldn't care. It is his business if he's trying to get to know you and to see if you're wife material. It does matter to him to make sure you're not a hoe on the street selling your kitty cat. It is his business, and he does care to make sure you're not a lazy woman sitting down and waiting for some man to take care of you so you could spend all his money getting $500 weeds, $12,000 purses, and $6,000 shoes. It is his business, ma'am. Because same way you are gathering data on them, it is the same way he's gathering data on you. So you want to tell me you're with this high value man, and they're at an event, you know, those $10,000 tickets events, black tie events, and you're sitting around a table with 10 people, and either him or his friend asks, well, Keisha, what you do? And you go open up your big old ghetto mouth and talk about that ain't none of your business with the head and the weave flashing back and forth. You think that's appropriate, ma'am? Do you really think it's appropriate for you to tell a man that is trying to get to know you and is dating you, gathering data on you, that it's none of his business what you do? And you expect that man, high value, let me say, high value man, to keep courting you and wanting to get to know you? In what universe do you think that's appropriate? How do you think he shouldn't care if you're doing something? He should care. Are you lazy? Are you doing something? Are you busy? The Bible says be busy. Be busy being homemakers, being busy working in the kingdom. Read the Proverbs 31 woman. She had 11 jobs. Not because men are providers doesn't mean it doesn't matter what you're doing, ma'am. I've been married going on 10 years. My husband is sole provider, but he did ask me, what do you do? And my husband, and I told what I did, that we was at a networking event, so it's a little bit different. And my husband married me without asking me how much I made. See, that didn't matter to him. It didn't matter to my husband how much money I made, but it mattered to him if I was being a lazy woman or I was on the corner selling my ass. It didn't matter. He never asked me how much money you made. He didn't know. He married me not knowing. All he knew was I was busy doing something. When we met, I was a networking event marketing my book. So I wasn't just sitting at home at 34 years old waiting for a man to come marry me talking about that's none of your business. You shouldn't care. No, he cared. And you know why he go around tell his frat brothers, she's an author. She write books. He cared. If she is clearly taken care of and living just fine, no question needed. Well, how is he going to know you're clearly taken care of and living just fine, no questions needed, if he can't ask you, are you selling drugs? Is you on the corner selling your behind? My husband was able to see that I was good with money because I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment, paying off my student loans. My daughter had the bedroom. I slept in the living room on the futon, and I was driving a car I bought cash. And I got up every morning and went to work. And I was still writing books and marketing my books. Men provide anyway, so they shouldn't be asking. So because a man is a provider anyways, he shouldn't be asking if you are a hoe or a lazy woman. Or you're selling drugs. What do you do all day? Do you just sit at the house all day? Who's paying for the house you're sitting in? Who's paying for the TV that you were watching? He's just supposed to marry you without asking you any questions. Men provide anyway, so they shouldn't be asking. He should be asking. He want to make sure if you're trustworthy. He want to make sure, are you, what's the word the Bible use? Be faithful, be vigilant. Can you stay the course? Can you stay the course? See, this is something else. You when you think about people, how long you been at that job? Oh, you been only been there 2 months. One of the things I tell my ladies, a man that can't keep a job, he can't stay the course. A man who can't finish something, he can't stay the course. Bye. Men provide anyway, so they shouldn't be asking. So he should just marry you, put you over his home, and don't ask you any questions. Do you see how delusional some of these women are? Then she goes on to say, then it shows their lack of intellect and pathetic personalities when they assume you are a prostitute. No, if you don't work, you don't want to tell him where you work or what you do, then apparently you is a prostitute, you selling drugs, and we know you ain't got no trust fund, girl. Because even those kids with trust fund, they are out here doing something. They're not just staying at home talking about I got a trust fund, except if they're children. So yes, ma'am. The same way if a man say I don't work, but he's always driving a car, got a big house, what you gonna think he's doing, ma'am? He says show their lack of intellect. No, it shows your lack of dating intellect, ma'am. As if the only thing a beautiful woman can be doing is either working for someone or prostituting. So why don't you tell him? Tell him what you're doing. Now, ladies, in my dating, in my husband profile course, let me close my blind. In my husband profile course, I tell you how to answer the question. Like I said, when I met my husband, I was at a networking event, marketing my book, so he could have assumed I'm an author. But I told him, me and my other girl, we were there. We, where we work at. That was it. He never asked me nothing no more. So I don't understand this group of women who's thinking when a man asks you shouldn't say. You might not want to say you're a lawyer or whatever, but you need to tell him something, because the same way he's collecting data on you, you're collecting data on him, he's collecting data on you. And y'all running around talking about your virtuous woman. Y'all not no virtuous woman, man. Read the Proverbs 31 woman. She was busy. She was sowing. She was planting. She was buying a field and planting a garden. She was making silk. The Bible says the people knew her husband as the Proverbs 31 woman. The Bible said the people knew him in the gates because of her. So you want to tell me a man is supposed to marry you and not know nothing about you? What delusional world. Oh, child, I got to go. Do I have time to do a Married at First Sight video? I love you. Let me know what you think about this, okay? Let me know what you think about this. And in my husband profile course, I will tell you how to answer that question. But this delusionality that some of these women are, so a lot of women these days, especially women of color, you're very entitled, as if your big ass, your big fake ass, and your fake boobs should be enough for a high value man. Because y'all, this is what y'all want: high value man to marry y'all. And they don't, high value man don't marry stupid women. They just don't. They want to be able to take you out to have a black tie affair, and you can sit around the table and you can handle yourself at the table. My husband did it to me. Before he told me he loved me, he invited all his frat brothers that could come to this event to New York and to sit down and talk to me. And at the end of that night, he told me he loved me. So if you think a man shouldn't ask you any question, ma'am, you will be single forever, or you're going to end up marrying a Pookie Ray Ray or a Tyrell, because high value men do not deal with women who are entitled and who are nasty, who are mean, and who have bad, stinking attitude. You are not gracious. And the Bible says, woman, let your words be seasoned with grace. You know what that means? Let your words be sweet. I am still surprised that my husband told me one of the things he still talk about that till today, y'all. We've been married, we will be married 10 years in May. And to this day, my husband tell me, he say, you were so sweet and kind and gracious when I met you, and you said thank you. I said, what you mean? He said, oh, I buy ladies drinks all the time. They don't even say thank you. I said, wait a minute. That is something you learn at 2 years old. You say thank you. He said, nope, I would buy you at an event or a lounge where we work, and you would buy a lady a drink, and she wouldn't even say thank you. I couldn't believe it. I still ask him if he's sure about that today. And 10 years later, my husband still talk about how I was gracious and I was sweet and I was kind, and I said thank you when I met him. So if you think you're going to get high value man with a dirty, nasty, stinky attitude, I want to see. Send me his pictures and his resume and his information, because I want to know who that man is. And let me tell you, this ain't no Pookie Ray Ray Tyrone. Y'all think because a man make 100,000 makes it my high, but that's not it, baby. I don't even get into it, because most of these men that's on YouTube talking about high value are not high value. You might make $100,000 a year, but that don't make you a high value man, sir. Ladies, that don't make him high value because he makes $100,000 a year. The drug man on the corner probably make $250,000 a year. Does that make him a high value man? I'm going. I love you. Let me know what you think. Husband profile course. I love you. Talk to you later. Bye. 23,000 guys you might meet is still available. I absolutely love you and adore you. Let me know what you think. Bye.